Hello, teacher Maria Sutilia. This is my intercultural experience. To begin with, I live in Rechuelo, a town near the city of Corrientes. There, the contact with English is very precarious. My experience as learners of English as a foreign language began in the secondary school, but with just some simple structures and certain specific vocabularies, such as colors, numbers, and animals. Furthermore, at about age 17, I got a little involved with the English music and I started to translate to Spanish just to understand what the lyrics meant. When I finished the school, I started to attend an English course because I really like the language. There I learned some difficult structures and vocabularies in order to express my ideas in English. Moreover, I was gradually exposed to the English culture through short stories and texts about Britain, which in the light of moral, language and culture may be separated for a pedagogical purpose. In that way, the language of the classroom helps achieve to comprehend, analyze, and subsequently immerse oneself into the culture so as to know how to respond to it. Even more, I created my own stories in English. I attended this course 2 years and after that I could not continue because of personal problems. While I was helping some neighbors with English, I really like it. So in that moment I wondered if I would be a good teacher or not. After 2 years I entered in the Curso Introductorio of Josefina Conte, where I had a view of what it was to be an English teacher, and I really like it. At the same time, I learned more advanced vocabularies and distinct aspects of the language, and this helped me a lot in improving my communicative competence. The following year, I entered in the teaching training course, in which I lived a lot of experiences not only with language, but also with culture. One example could be the participation in the English Fest, which the Institute organizes every year. In this case, my class participated with games and dressing, dancing and singing a particular song of Elvis Presley, reminiscing the United States culture of that time, in this case the rock dancing, which according to Moran in one of the dimensions of culture as practices, which refer to the actions and interaction that the members of the culture perform, verbal and non-verbal, including interpretation of time, games, dancing, etc. During the course, I have attended to different subjects in which I had to adapt at the time of the course under pressure of every subject. At the beginning, I felt a bit tired, especially with the tests, but with the help of my partners, I could pass the difficulties. The first year, I found it important the pronunciation of words. For this reason, I liked phonetics and phonology. However, this subject surprised me a lot because I knew nothing about the phonemes and distinct sounds of the words, due to the fact that the pronunciation of words was difficult to me. During the second year, I watched some videos, movies related to English, and many times I listened to music with lyrics. In addition to this, I participated in meetings with some assistants from England and United States, in which I asked them about their customs and practices, comparing our culture. In these meetings, I learned a lot about their culture, and I understood that there were many differences in the treatment with people. For example, in the greeting, we kiss each other. Nonetheless, foreign people just say hello, or at most, pass their hand. Moreover, I did some analysis of English history through their literature, reading poems, prose, according to their context and period. So with this in mind, I believe that I have acquired a cultural general understanding. as I was able to identify my own culture to contrast with the English one, taking into account the 5 dimensions of culture expressed by Moran. The first one, products, which are all the artifacts produced and adapted by the members of the culture. The second one, practices, the action and interactions carried out by the members of the culture individually or with others. The third one, perspectives, which represent the belief, values, and attitudes in the practices of the culture. The fourth one, communities, including the specific social context, circumstances, and groups in which members carry out cultural practices. And the last one, persons, constitute the individual members who embody the culture. In addition, in the subject second language acquisition, I compared and contrasted English and Spanish languages, in which I analyzed some errors caused by the language transfer, which the linguist outline refers to the influence of the native language on the acquisition of the target language. One example could be that we as Spanish speakers learning English, we may say it's raining rather than it is raining, leaving out the subject of the sentence. And this common error is the negative transfer, which is a process that happens during the second language acquisition, where a learner of a foreign language applies rules that do not belong to the language he is speaking or writing. During the third year, I started my residence in a kindergarten of regional school. It was the year most important for me because I had my own group of students in a classroom. Obviously, I felt so nervous in every class that I had to teach. Nevertheless, when I saw my students smiling and enjoying my class, I forgot everything and enjoyed with them. At the end of my residence, we did the performance of the Very Hungry Caterpillar in front of a lot of people, with the help of some of my partners, and it was amazing. During the fourth year, we have another English assistant, Emma Rady, who delivered some classes in which she explained about her origins and the different cultures between the countries of Great Britain. So we work more deeply on that, analyzing, debating about their culture, which shared every country. So due to this, I believe that I have acquired culturally specific understanding within English culture. This is all because of the knowing stages shared by Moran. Knowing how the language used to participate in the cultural experience, knowing about the language used to describe cultural experience, knowing why, the language used to identify, explain and justify cultural perspective, and to compare and contrast individuals' culture or with others, and knowing oneself. The language individual used to their thoughts, feelings and plans regarding the cultural experience. Finally, these experiences have been very interesting and fun, and I hope they allow me to develop better in my resident classes with adolescents this year. Thank you.